it's also important to consider, if this doesn't work out, how can we solve this problem? Because just as a production designer, how you get given these ideas and now you have to sit and try solve the problem of how we're going to create this. As the script writer, you must think, okay, if we can't find this location, can we build it? You have to consider the whole aspect of the film, not just the script itself.
Hey everybody, and welcome back to Department Spotlight, the show where we speak to our friends and colleagues about their experiences in the South African film industry. Today we will be talking about production design, and we will also be talking to two of our friends and colleagues who are in different countries. So it will not just be the South African industry, it will also be the British industry and the Congolese industry. So yeah, we are really excited to get going, so let's get to it.
Hi, I'm Raquel Lauren, a production designer currently in South Africa.
I'm Olivier Amiso, production designer currently in Congo.
Hi, I'm Lauren Boy. I'm currently a production designer in London, UK.
Let's talk about the different departments within production design, right? Because you've got, like you said, construction. What do you have inside?
So you've got the art director who kind of just directs everybody and tells them what to do. We've been creating the set or the film.
So you get the set decorators, and they come in once all construction's done and all the painting's been done, and they decorate the set. So they're the people who bring in all the furniture, all the little things, they put on the doorknobs, that kind of thing. So they really bring life to the set.
The prop master that's responsible for all the props that you need for the film and stuff.
Has this ever happened to you guys? What happens when the director comes to you, or the scriptwriter or whatever, and he's got this idea, or it's written into the script and it's just this big thing? How do you guys talk around budget? Do you try to make it work to the budget, or do you rather say, no, that's not going to work, let's do something else? What is your relationship with budgets?
It's very important that you talk about it in the beginning. Sometimes if it's going to work or not. You really have to speak to the director and let him know that this is gonna happen or this not, because sometimes they come with such big ideas, and then you have to be very realistic with them and explain to them that it's not gonna work. And then also something like, if the budget can change, or you explain to them we have a budget list that we make, and maybe work the budget or making the budget a bit bigger or something like that.
I see. So not letting it get too far in the process before.
Definitely.
Yeah.
You definitely have to speak up before you get to the point, and it's so big. It's so big for you that you cannot even handle it. So it's best to talk to the director from the beginning and make him realize that this can happen, this cannot happen. So you have to be upfront about it, because it has happened to me in some films that I've worked on in varsity. That big ideas, and I kept saying that it's impossible, that they kept pressing for that to happen, and then it didn't quite work out. So I had to learn from it.
And another sort of question that sort of leaps on from that is, what do you guys think from a production designer's point of view? What do you think are some things that screenwriters or directors could assist in this whole creation of everything? So what would you like to say to directors and screenwriters before it comes to the point where they're giving you a script? Because I feel when you spoke about I think Lauren spoke about the problem of sort of being presented can we do the interior of a circus or whatever tent? And I think that some of those considerations can perhaps come a bit sooner. So what would you guys like to say to sort of a screenwriter or director in terms of practicality and considering production design?
When I worked on my honors film, one of my friends was a director, so I got to join her on the process. I was there in the process of her writing, which helped me a lot, because she would bounce ideas at me of having certain elements in the script and stuff, and then I could throw it back and I say, yeah, that would work, and so it was. it really helped. It really helped that I was there earlier on, but I don't know if it happens in the industry. But that's something new that I've never experienced in all the years that I've been at AFDA. So it was really good to actually have inputs in the beginning of the process of writing for me.
Yeah, I think definitely at AFDA, you had the opportunity to kind of chat to the director as they were writing the script and be like, oh, this is what I think about this. This is what we could potentially do. And they'd be like, oh, I want to set it in this location. And you'd be like, I don't really know about that. I don't think we can find that location that easily. Especially because we know the struggle with location. It's not always the easiest thing. In the industry, they have location managers, and there's like, that sounds like the bestest thing ever. But yeah, I think I don't really think in the industry, like maybe if you're working on an indie, you probably get involved with the director quite early on, and you can be like, oh yeah, okay, this is what I think we could do. But like if you're getting in quite late, and like everybody else has already been hired, and they've got their DOP, they've got like everybody else, and you're coming in and they say, okay, this is our script, this is what we want from you. Then you kind of just have to make it work, and then you can always go to them and be like, I don't know what you think you want in this specific section, but I don't think it's possible. But I think there are ways around it. Like if something's too big, then you can talk about making a miniature set, or, you can always say, have you considered visual effects if you've got a good visual effects budget? Or, I don't think we'll be able to find this location. Can we build a set for it? And, it's all about the compromise of like, even if you hate like set building, then you can be like, we need to build a set for this. It's not going to work on location. So it's just about finding the compromises and finding the right section that works for you both, I suppose. Especially that like if the script is that well developed and they're just like, well, we're not rewriting it now. So you got to deal with what you got, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I definitely agree with what Lauren has just said. But I think now more from like a director or script writer's role, I think when they're writing the script, yes, it's lovely to have all these brilliant ideas and want to go all extravagant, but I think it's also important to consider, if this doesn't work out, how can we solve this problem? Because just as a production designer, how you get given these ideas and now you have to sit and try solve the problem of how we're going to create this, and okay, what if that location is no longer an option? What are we going to do? Like you're constantly having to think of solutions. So I think as the script writer, you must think, okay, if we can't find this location, can we build it? Do we have enough in our budget to build it? Or can we rather do special effects? So I think it's also just in that you have to consider the whole aspect of the film, not just the script itself.
How do you get that first like opportunity? Even going to film school, how do you get onto a set for the first time that's not a film school set, like a real thing? How do you do that?
I think it's just looking for opportunities, talking to the people you know. So I mean, if you do go to film school, you'll always know someone who's doing something or working on some set. So it's just important to like, don't burn all your bridges while you're at film school, is one thing, I suppose. And, just keep in contact with the people that you worked well with, because there's always an opportunity, and, you don't know who's going to think of you and be like, hey, do you want to hop on the set with me? Because you never know when that's going to happen. So it's important to like keep in contact with the people that, are also trying to work on their own things. I do think it's quite difficult though, because it's not like there's just like, hey, here's a job ad, here, come be a runner, and then you're just like, yeah, that's me, let's go. So, and it's definitely finding the opportunities. Like I know in the UK there's a lot of internships and there's a lot of training and a lot of apprenticeships and that kind of thing. So it's quite easy to jump onto one of those. But obviously there's so many other people that you're like competing against at the same time. So it's quite difficult to get in. I definitely think it's just getting your foot in the door. So if someone hires you and you have to make coffee for like a month, just do it. Because I know it's not fun. And I know you went to film school and you're just like, I don't want to make coffee, I'm more experienced than that. And I mean, fair, sure you are. But then while you're making that coffee, make sure that people notice that and just talk to everybody, So it's just about taking every opportunity that comes your way. But obviously just don't constantly work for free. I mean, I feel like I fell into that trap while I was still in SA. I'd done so many projects for free, and by the time I turned around, I was like, oh wait, no, I need to be paid. I need, have rent and other things to do. And they were just like, oh, well, then PD's not really that important. We'll be fine without you. And then you kind of just like, oh, well,
wow.
Anyway, so yeah, then I moved. I was like, never mind. But that was my own fault, I think. I shouldn't have done it for so long. And at first it was about experience, but then it gets to the point where you're just like, oh, come on, guys.
Yeah. I've got the experience now. Now pay me for that experience.
Yeah, but I think that's also the problem in South Africa that I find specifically with production designers, is that a lot of people don't necessarily want to pay for production design. So they'd rather just not hire a production designer, or unfortunately, Lauren got caught into it being just someone to supply the work and do the work for nothing. So that is also the problem in South Africa that we face. So luckily she got on the plane and went somewhere that she was more appreciated. So I think that's a good thing. And like she said, just get your way, put your foot in the door and really just hustle your way up, because especially in South Africa, it's still growing. It's a growing industry, so it's very tough to really just get in there.
So thank you so much, Lauren, Oliver, and Raquel, for your awesome insights into production design. If you enjoyed that little extract from our conversation, remember that you can listen to the full podcast on Spotify, Apple Music, and anywhere else you listen to podcasts. Link is in the description. So we release new videos every Tuesday and every Friday, with a new short film on the first Friday of every month. Consider hitting the subscribe button. It's free. Also, maybe leave us a like and a comment telling us what you'd like to see from us next. And until next time, stay inside and make your movie.